What if Pluto, the smallest and most distant member of our solar system, regained its status as the ninth planet? Let's take a step back and delve into the history of this celestial body that was once a fully fledged planet in our solar system. Discovered in the year 1930 by Clyde W. Tombaugh, an American astronomer, Pluto held its title as the ninth planet in our solar system for over 75 years. It was the little guy, the remote outlier, the mysterious entity that sparked curiosity and wonder. But the winds of change began to blow. In the early years of the 21st century, the scientific community was thrown into a whirlpool of debate and controversy. The heart of the matter? The definition of a planet. Suddenly, Pluto's status was under scrutiny. This controversy led to a pivotal moment in 2006 when the International Astronomical Union, the governing body for celestial naming, made a decision that sent shockwaves through the world. They demoted Pluto, stripping it of its planetary status. The reason? Pluto failed to meet all the criteria of the newly established definition of a planet. Instead, it was classified as a dwarf planet, a new category created by the same resolution that saw Pluto's demotion. The decision was met with a wave of dissent, sparking a debate that continues to this day. Some argue that the definition of a planet is flawed, while others stand by the decision, citing the need for clear and specific classification in the realm of astronomy. Now let's take a moment to ponder on a provocative question. Imagine for a moment that Pluto regains its planetary status. What would change? As we progress through this discussion, remember that the universe is a place of constant discovery, and our understanding of it is always evolving. Just like Pluto, we are on a journey through the cosmos, ever-changing and full of surprises. To understand the potential impact of Pluto's reinstatement, we need to revisit the criteria that define a planet. The International Astronomical Union, the group that holds the power to name and classify celestial bodies, sets forth 3 criteria that an object must fulfill to be considered a planet. The first criterion is that the object must orbit the Sun. Pluto does indeed do this, taking a whopping 248 Earth years to complete 1 Plutonian year. So, in this regard, Pluto ticks the box. The second criterion is that the object must be spherical in shape. This is because the gravitational forces acting on a sufficiently large object will pull it into a roughly spherical shape. And once again, Pluto fits the bill. Although it's not perfectly round, let's be honest, which planet is? It's close enough to a sphere to satisfy this criterion. But it's the third criterion that has proved to be Pluto's downfall. The International Astronomical Union requires that a planet has cleared its orbit of other debris. In other words, the planet must be the dominant gravitational body in its orbit around the Sun. And here's where Pluto falls short. It shares its orbit with other objects in the Kuiper Belt, a region of the solar system beyond the orbit of Neptune filled with icy bodies and other debris. So while Pluto meets the first 2 criteria with flying colors, it's this third criterion that led to its demotion from planet to dwarf planet in 2006. But what would it mean if Pluto were to regain its planetary status? Well, it would require a reevaluation of these criteria. Perhaps the definition of a planet would be expanded to include objects like Pluto that share their orbit with other bodies. Or perhaps the definition would remain the same, but Pluto would be granted an exception due to its historical status as a planet. If Pluto were to regain its planetary status, these criteria would need to be reevaluated. So, what would happen if Pluto were recognized as a planet once again? Well, let's delve right into this fascinating thought. Firstly, reinstating Pluto as a planet would, without a doubt, cause us to reassess our understanding of the solar system. It's like adding an extra member to the family. It shakes up the dynamic. It would mean reevaluating the characteristics we attribute to planets, the very blueprint we've been using to classify celestial bodies. Now, this could lead to a potential domino effect. If Pluto, previously classified as a dwarf planet, is able to meet the revised criteria for planet status, it's plausible that other dwarf planets could too. Imagine the ripple effect this would have throughout our solar system. It's like setting a new standard for what it means to be a planet. Eris, Haumea, and Makemake, for instance, are other dwarf planets in our solar system. They're not as well known as Pluto, but they're out there doing their cosmic thing. If we're opening the door for Pluto, we might just be opening the door for them too. And here's where things start to get really interesting. If we increase the number of recognized planets, we're essentially expanding our cosmic neighborhood. There would be more planets to study, more celestial bodies to understand. This could lead to a wealth of new information about the universe, its formation, and its evolution. The potential implications of such a decision are vast and far-reaching. It could lead to an explosion of new discoveries, new theories, and new perspectives on our place in the cosmos. It's not just about Pluto, it's about how we view our universe and our place within it. In a sense, Pluto's reinstatement could be seen as a catalyst for change, a spark that ignites a whole new era of space exploration and understanding. So to wrap this up, Pluto's reinstatement could potentially open the floodgates for other celestial bodies to be recognized as planets. It's a small change with the potential for a cosmic impact. Despite the official classification, the debate over Pluto's status continues. It's a cosmic controversy that's been swirling around the solar system since the year 2006. The question at hand, is Pluto a planet or not? Despite the International Astronomical Union's decision to demote it to a dwarf planet, there's a faction of scientists and space enthusiasts who continue to argue for Pluto's planetary status. They argue that the criteria used to determine whether or not a celestial body is a planet are too narrow and restrictive. Some even suggest that the IAU's decision was more political than scientific. Recent discoveries and research have added more layers to this debate. In 2015, NASA's New Horizons mission flew by Pluto, providing us with the most detailed images of Pluto we've ever had. We saw a complex and dynamic world with mountains, valleys, and even what appeared to be a heart-shaped glacier. These discoveries sparked new questions about what it means to be a planet and whether or not Pluto should be reclassified. Then there's the argument about the Kuiper Belt, a vast region of space beyond Neptune filled with icy bodies and dwarf planets. Pluto resides in this region, but some argue that its unique characteristics and history set it apart from its neighbors. They suggest that Pluto's interaction with Neptune's gravity, its multi-layered atmosphere, and its 5 moons warrant a reconsideration of its status. However, not everyone agrees. Some scientists believe that maintaining Pluto's status as a dwarf planet helps to preserve the integrity of the current planetary classification system. They argue that reclassifying Pluto could open the door to countless other celestial bodies vying for planetary status, leading to a potential dilution of the term planet. Whether or not Pluto is officially recognized as a planet, it continues to captivate our imaginations. This tiny world, located at the fringes of our solar system, has sparked a debate that transcends scientific classifications and delves into the realm of philosophy and semantics. It's a debate that is likely to continue for years to come. Beyond the scientific debate, there's an emotional connection that many people feel towards Pluto. Yes, that's right. This tiny, icy world, some 3 billion miles away from our own, has managed to capture the hearts of millions around the globe. But why is that? When Pluto was demoted from its planetary status in 2006, the news was met with widespread disappointment and, in some cases, outright protest. The decision seemed to strike a chord, a raw nerve that resonated with people far beyond the scientific community. It was as if a beloved underdog had been unfairly stripped of its title, and the public outcry was palpable. But this is not just about the science. It's about how we, as humans, relate to the cosmos. Pluto, distant and mysterious, has always been a symbol of the unknown, the outermost frontier of our solar system. Its very remoteness makes it a beacon of exploration and discovery, a symbol of our unending quest to understand the universe. And then there's the role of Pluto in popular culture. From its frequent appearances in science fiction to its status as an astrological symbol, Pluto has permeated our collective consciousness. In the world of animation, who can forget the lovable Disney character named after this distant world? These cultural connections have endeared Pluto to us, made it more than just a celestial body, but a part of our shared human story. Even in the face of controversy, Pluto's popularity hasn't waned. In fact, the debate has only served to strengthen the bond that many feel towards this distant world. It's a reminder that our relationship with space is not just about science, but about emotion, about the stories we tell and the dreams we share. And so, whether it's a planet, a dwarf planet, or something else entirely, One thing is clear: no matter its status, Pluto holds a special place in our hearts. So let's return to our initial question: what if Pluto regained its status as a planet? Firstly, if we revisit the key points we've discussed, the reinstatement of Pluto would mean that our solar system would once again have 9 planets. This would be a shift from the 8-planet model that has been taught in schools since 2006. The mnemonic devices we use to remember the order of the planets would need a little revision, but hey, that's a small price to pay for Pluto's comeback, right? But more than just a change in textbooks, Pluto's reclassification would also signify a shift in our understanding of what it means to be a planet. Just as we've seen with the debate over Pluto's status, science isn't always black and white. There's a whole spectrum of gray that we must navigate, and sometimes that means reevaluating our definitions and classifications. But remember, the debate over Pluto's status isn't just about science. It's also about how we as humans perceive and connect with the universe around us. Pluto's demotion sparked a global conversation about our solar system, engaging people who might not have otherwise been interested in astronomy. That's the beauty of this debate. It's as much about passion and curiosity as it is about celestial bodies. If Pluto were to regain its status, it would be a testament to the ever-evolving nature of science. It would show that our understanding of the universe is constantly shifting, and that's okay. It would remind us that as we continue to explore the cosmos, we must also be open to challenging our own preconceived notions. And let's not forget the emotional connection many of us have to Pluto. Whether it's the nostalgia of a childhood spent learning about 9 planets, or the affinity for the underdog story, Pluto's reinstatement would undoubtedly bring a smile to many faces. Whether a planet or a dwarf planet, Pluto remains an intriguing part of our solar system, continuing to inspire curiosity and wonder. Today, we embarked on a journey through time and space, exploring the contentious history of Pluto's planetary status. We delved into the nitty-gritty of what makes a planet and the reasons behind Pluto's demotion. We've seen how the reclassification of Pluto stirred a worldwide debate and the emotional connection many of us still hold for this distant celestial body. We pondered the potential impact of Pluto regaining its planetary status. Would it open the doors to countless other celestial bodies vying for the same recognition? Would it change the way we understand our solar system? Or would it merely be a symbolic victory for those who've championed Pluto's cause? These questions remain unanswered, and the dialogue continues. As we've seen, the universe isn't static, and our knowledge and understanding of it are in a constant state of flux. As we gaze at the stars, we are reminded that our understanding of the universe is always evolving, just like the status of our beloved Pluto.